Fantasia again today, please. Just because I haven't, the go-to meeting has been disappointing, like most of my internet services. Yeah, pull up on a 15-minute NASDAQ deep crab. That's got everything. That's got what we want. With a massive Gartley, yikes. This could be a really nice sell up here. 53.92, 53.93. Yeah, I'm going to get that in a cigar, no problem. But let's pull up NQ and let's look at NQ.
Okay, get another window here.
There's Kiwi Dollar on a 5-minute.
Yeah.
We'll come back. I'm keeping my eye on those.
Okay.
We'll come back to those.
All right, bring up NQ.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
And just give me an ABCD off the low there from yesterday. I mean, you got multiple ABCDs.
Off the low?
Yeah, off of Friday's low. Or the 310 low. 3.9 low.
Nine.
Yeah, only a 15-minute chart. Just trace it out.
Oh, the 15-minute. Yeah.
Yeah, just draw the line there. Simple ABCD tool.
Yeah.
1, 2. All right.
Yeah.
You know, basically looking for this thing to retest the high. A lot of chop, no problem. I think the cable and the pound are going to grind for a while as well. So let's just wait on this one. Yeah, I mean, you know, even I can see that the pound, the way that it's dragging right now, holding at your, yeah, just kind of holding at the 50, not giving us that impulsive retest. Probably going to go higher. Not give you really much to even work with. I think you got the first test and that was it. But we got that lined up. We'll keep an eye on that. I think Kiwi Dollar, and I started today with talking about daily zones, how important they are. Open up the chat on the Formation Seeker and let's click on my channel because I want to show everybody this. Click there and listen. I'm going to post charts in here and you guys can go back and access, like hit Kiwi Dollar there. All right, I posted that as you see last week. Let's, you know, really be aware of these big zones. Of these daily zones. So this one here, we're looking 69.20. I mean, this is, I was saying on Thursday to wait one more day, and that was Friday. And you look, we're right in the 3 bar. That's a 4 hour. Go on a daily. even better on a daily. You got to open up your filters. There it is.
Just took a second.
Hit the first listing. There you go. So this is about to pop out on the daily, and we were talking about that last week. Now that hit on Wednesday. There's no trade. No trade on that day, and you avoided 2 days of consolidation. That if this is going to go, it's going to start going today. And right here at this 69.20 area, and this is your perfect swing trade. And in terms of at least what I've been seeing over the last year, that the daily patterns and zones have been the most reliable of all of the setups and things that I've seen. There's a wider risk parameters, of course. I don't expect you to go in and risk over 100 pips on this, but we certainly know that if this is the type 1, you look at terminal bar plus 1, and we utilize that blue line, which is 69.04, 69.05. All right, we know that this has got to hold 69. And we're in here. We still don't have RSI out. HSI is popping out today, where this is, I think we're in that area for a reaction. And always be treating that first one like a reaction. But also look, let's blow up the PRZ. Because that 2-bar turnaround, I don't know. It's the candlestick people have got all kinds of terms for those. But you see that. Just think terminal bar stabilization. The highlighted D point, okay, that's the terminal bar. That's the exact completion point of the pattern. And then we don't execute until the first bar after that. And you look at that and you say, okay, that's still bearish. What do I got? It retested the blue line, which is the extreme of the terminal bar. That's okay. And then we get into Friday. That's the green bar. That's the first time it turns up. And I was talking about that on Friday's session of how to utilize that daily zone, even for a minimum bounce. Now, again, this is going to take time. This is kind of a slug of a pair, but you couldn't have a clearer pattern, a better bat structure with the kind of confirmation that really kind of parcels out the best structures. So the 69.20 area, we're right in the zone. It's as high as 69.40. That's where you want to trigger. So this is something for tonight, later today. Maybe even after 5 o'clock today, where then we jump into that next bar. And then we probably see this go after hours. But this is in the perfect position of what we want to look for any time frame. And that's what I try to do in these posts, and just outline those situations that have the best chance. Get your big zones lined up, and then look for smaller confirmation. Let me see here. Um, 13th, hold on. Let me come back to that. Also, Keegan, pull up Aussie CAD. Take a look at that. Be right back.
It's a close one right there. Still got those maxed out. So 30. Yep. Yeah, a little frustrating, the euro, pound. So we didn't quite hit on RSI there yet. Still probably going to hit at some point. We're popping just a little bit, but that's really not a significant move yet. So little, little up bar, but we're still probably going to hit at some point, but RSI is kind of far away now. It's almost at 50. Amplified did hit. That's a long story. We won't really get into that today, but I've still got that on my other screen over here. And yeah, so euro pound, that was kind of like the most promising one that I was looking at. Or this one, okay, we are coming up here. It's an hourly chart, so this is still going to be a while. Of course, on the Aussie CAD. So yeah, we probably are going to start doing earlier sessions. Let's see, what else they have up here. We can look at the ES over here. Got too many charts open on all these other screens. Man, that is just so sideways right there. I mean, it's just coiling up. Still was something there, though, the 1 minute. Beautiful type 1, type 2. Yeah, that's pretty scalpy right there to actually hit the 1 minute, but even there's technically was something. But yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna probably bust this to the upside, finish up this crab this afternoon. Let's see if Scott gets back in a minute here and explains what he's looking at for the Aussie CAD. I mean, I would almost be afraid that this is going to want to complete this type 2 right here. Is there even a, did that even complete? No, see, it actually fell just short of completing. Okay. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with this hourly. Yeah, I'm still waiting on the cable. I'm going to post a little update here. I don't know how many of you guys use TradingView, but I'm going to post a little update on this in the meantime. By the cable in a second here, but there's another pound pair we were looking at. Was that USD pound? Yeah, we're looking at the pound dollar earlier on, weren't we? Yeah.
Hey, what do you got on that right side? Aussie CAD. Up for a type 2.
Yeah, and I was just looking, I don't think it actually typed 1. Yeah, it came just short on this one.
Yeah, where are the levels? Can you hit the levels? Ooh, I like that. 102.05. All right. 7, 10 pips away. I want to be looking at that. What about pound dollar? I think I saw that break the trend line.
I was just looking at that. Yeah, I was bringing this up over here. So broke the trend line, still haven't retested on RSI. So we've kind of got the same situation on both these trades. Like pound dollar hasn't completed RSI retest. So
yeah, but it's the number's 30. The number is up there at 30, and I still don't expect much of that until we get there. We get up there. So I like Kiwi dollar or Aussie dollar. Sorry, Aussie CAD. I want to be selling this pound dollar pretty soon. Give it a little time.
yep, and then we've got the cable over here.
Equities aren't doing anything, but NASDAQ looks like it's about to little bump up for, up to test the all-time high there. I mean, it's just, I think, Keegan, we're just going to have to do this in like a FXCM account or, some kind of, or we can do it off of the platform, right?
FXCM. But yeah, we can do it on here on Ninja.
Let's try to keep that. Let's do a monitor, a position monitor, and let's try to, I'll put in some notes of what we're looking at for.
Mm-hmm.
For
yeah,
this
and I'm posting my notes on TradingView as well. It's another good place to keep up because it doesn't matter what broker or platform you use. So it's a good one for notes. There we go.
Yeah, 102.05 NASDAQ. I'm working off a couple of formation accounts. 5 minute here. Put this other one in. Ah, come on. and British pound. Although I think that's something probably will come back for. Let me go back. I'm going to just post them. So that way you can go to Scott Carney channel and see the posts. Because that's really what we want to do, is line up a handful of really ideal stuff and get multiple shots. Get a quick reaction trade off of it. Look for a secondary test. That's what we're doing here on dollar pound, pound dollar. My dyslexia is really kicking up today. And
Yeah, I was doing the same thing earlier. I couldn't find it I was trying to type in dollar pound in here and I couldn't find it.
yeah, that's my fault. You know, and there's a lot here on the pound for why it's a good sell, even on a longer basis. Go to that pound chart and just show, like, let's just show the whole pattern. Because what I want to show is this 1618 extension off the low. Go on a 15 or 30-minute chart. Yeah, go on a 1-hour chart even, just to show. I just want to show the 1618 impulse. You got a little crab here, yeah, and then just do, yeah. Off none of the prior one, because look where your absolute low is. So what I'm showing everybody is this little impulse move, really common. You could go there.
Yeah, that's not the 1618. Let's see.
Yeah.
What else are you looking at?
That
so,
one.
Oh, from here to here?
Yeah. No, that's my eyeballs.
Okay.
Little
skinny.
My eyes are esoteric.
Yeah, it's a skinny little move, but yeah.
Little skinny thrust down. Okay, that last thrust down, whatever makes that final low. Sometimes it's a little bit longer, like that other one, but if you're in a counter trend move, that this is where this is, okay, and you see a quick thrust like this go up to the RSI and gives you a pretty linear. It looks like a massive move up and then just hits the 1618 and stops. Yeah, that's it. That's just an harmonic impulse move. That's a short-term counter-trend reaction that tells us that 2233, we want to be selling this. So let's, on your 1-hour chart, I actually like it. I like it more than I did what was it, the 15-minute. So I would prep that order back up there at 33, because I think this is done. With that 1 hour, like let's look at more of the 1 hour chart, because I want you to execute this.
That?
Yeah. Okay, here's the thing about our RSI, HSI, they all do it. All right, but look how far the indicators moved. All the way to the overbought extreme, but price, didn't really explode like you thought it would, or maybe as much as the indicator's suggesting. Perfect area to be looking for this little counter trend move to be retested. So I'm looking at this saying 122.25, 122.30 area is where we want to sell this, and looking for this to retest the lows. Back at 121. So you're looking at about 120 pips here. Somewhere down in that for a retest. And this thing is a real nice, solid thrush up, and then it's exhausted itself. So let's hammer that down. I want to hit that. Yeah, good one. It is. We've been looking at that one, Nick, if you're in here. It's more of the crab, but we're looking at the 30-minute and the hour. 30 minutes got a, Now 30 minutes generating a 5.0. Back at 21.70. So I want you to go on this, on the British pound. I want you to sell it.
Nice. Okay, and we're selling 122, 22.30.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff here. But the fact that that has moved, a great case where it looks like a blast, what the indicator, that impulsive structure, even the 5.0, the fact that this is due to come back, this is a perfect kind of reactive move. And all right, so here's the other interesting thing we were looking at. Aussie Kiwi. All right, where the bat, we were looking at a bat. These are probably the two for now. Pound dollar, Aussie Kiwi. Little 1 hour crab. Finally. Up at 20 pips higher. So this is, and we were talking about playing these breakouts, and I think we'll get into that. There's some things that I definitely need to lay out, and there's better positions to play these breakouts, but that's where that's going. And that's actually almost a perfect crab. Let's see the 55. Yeah, almost. Not quite, but. So just tell me when you get triggered on pound dollar for that sell. Keep an eye on that. Because you know what? At secondary test of the terminal bar on the 5 minute, that's it. So pretty much we don't even need to, we'll adjust that stop loss pretty quickly. But let's see how that responds. Coming up in like 45 minutes, we're going to do the weekly educational session and talk about some of the things we reviewed. But in terms of currency pairs, those two are looking really good. And then also your Kiwi dollar just kind of sitting there. That's going to retest. And but that's the Kiwi dollar is, I think in a good spot to be lined up for the week. And isn't Yellen talking on Wednesday?
Probably. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't really remember, but it doesn't really matter. But you're going to get some action probably later in the week. And I think everyone's thinking the dollar's going to get stronger. I'm not one of them. I think the dollar's a sell, big sell. Here's one for you, Keegan. Go to Euro Yen on a 4-hour.
Right there.
Yeah. Again, big patterns, big patterns forming. And that's all about that ABCD. Really tough because that could almost be a Gartley because the B point is so close to the 3% tolerance. But, we're seeing a lot of counter-trend ABCD reactions on big time frames, brushing up against big numbers. Probably going to see it this week for a turning point. And I also got to think about, we're coming into the second half of the month. We're closing out the quarter. So there's going to be a lot of positioning. If we're seeing patterns come into this corner, end of the quarter, like S&P even, we're at some big numbers. And I'd be looking for at least some short-term tops to a lot of these extended moves. That Euro-Yen move, it's going on for 3 weeks now. But I'm liking that ABCD. Because look how steep that ABCD is. That's not sustainable. That's just not. Those kind of structures, that's why when you get these patterns and you get really sharp ABCD structures like that is, okay, when they hit the ABCD, bang, complete of the sine wave. Anybody that's read Volume 3 knows about market signature. Not signature as in your name, but sine wave as in mathematics. That ABCD is the completion of one counter-trend cycle. That's why it works. You've got to think of it in that regard, that until we structurally hit that number, at a minimum, there's no trade. But that's certainly where we want to be looking and lining it up. Is it me, or are the markets barely moving today?
It's it's a little bit of a snoozer. I wonder if there's anything, any big news that we're waiting for, anything like that.
No, I think it's all about Wednesday. It's all about Wednesday, and it's so it might be kind of quiet. And I think, maybe we could open this up. We're going to try to hit that British pound if that thing ever comes up. But again, we're going to line up our trades. We're going to line up what we're looking at for the week. You can catch that in Scott Carney Live Trading Channel on Formation Seeker, and then on the platform in those sessions that we do Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. You guys can follow up. Anybody that's in here today, come back into the same link. We're going to keep it open for Formation Seeker people for this week, and then formalize what we're doing here. But we're going to be doing shorter sessions than today. Usually I'll come in about 8:30, and we'll crank it up a little before 9, go to 10:30 for the market open, a little pre-market action. And I do think that, after a couple of weeks of doing this, Keegan, that we're going to have to open this up earlier. Maybe even I'm thinking of doing a Sunday session because there's good action. Last night, I was up kind of late, and there's really good movement at 1 o'clock in the morning. You can trade it for an hour or two. You got to get some sleep, but you got to pick your spots is really what I'm saying. And right now is a dead spot. So we'll keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on the pound. And take 5 minutes, my friend. If that triggers on the British pound, I want you to sell it. You got everything there. Let's look at amplified really quick on the left side.
Yep, it's down here.
Yeah. And that hit, right?
No, that came short just a little bit.
What's going on? Wow. All right, we'll wait for that trigger.
Okay.
Wait for that. Did we violate the trend line? On the fifth, what's that 15-minute trend line look like on Formation Seeker? Should be the screen behind.
Let's see. I think I've changed the charts too many times. I'm not sure where I'm at now.
Yeah, that's. Let me make a couple more notes.
Oh, there we are. Okay, here we go right here.
All right, perfect. There you go. I like that position.
So you still want to short it?
Yeah, but I think what's the top end of the zone there? It's 30, right? 33 is the number.
33?
33 is the 1618.
Oh, okay, the 1618. Yeah, I'm looking at this.
On the 15-minute. Go to the 15-minute chart. That's our primary pattern. Those are the primary numbers. Okay?
35.
There's your 1618. This is a Wyckoff entry. Yeah, go right there at 23. Wait, I can't. Hold on, let me bring this up on the screen.
Yeah, and here's 2235 is the exact number.
That's the BC. What's the 1618?
Oh yeah, 2231.
All right.
So if it's 31, I'd be hitting it right now.
Why?
Like if you want to put it at the 1618, because we're at 31 right now.
We're on different feeds, man. It's two tick difference. You got 29 there, and you got 31 on the other side. Yeah, because the BC's treated differently. Yeah, I'm cool. Did amplify? Wait for amplified. Amplified's got a trigger.
All right.
And then just draw a trend line off of that low too, because on the 15-minute, you're almost there. This will be a good one to look at for the session. No. Where did we have it before? Let's go there. Yeah, that's what we want. All right. This is Wyckoff called this jumping across the river, jump across the creek. Of you break the trend line, you come up on the underside of the trend line and retest. That's what we want to look for here. RSI is now really close, within shooting distance of that 70. What do you have on RSI? I've got 61 on a 15-minute.
Yeah, I've got 61.
All right.
Yeah, so it might take a few bars still for it amplified to get to 70. I think we triggered at, let's see. Now that was pretty close right there, but yeah, not quite.
All right, we're 1 minute to we're about to jump into the next 5 minute bar. And I'd be looking on this next 5 minute interval. We're going to close out. We're about to close out this 15-minute interval on that next bar. And that probably is going to get us where we need to be. But I like it. Pretty clear too. So that's what we need to line up. Let's jump across. Next bar on a 5 minute just started. Look on the left side, the left chart. That should pop any second with a new bar. Oh, you got a 15-minute. Show me the 5 minute on the left side, please. There you go. That's what I want to see. And HSI's up. Good. I'm glad we didn't slam into this. I want to wait for that. But I think now you're seeing actually a really preferred scenario on the right side of the chart where you're in a type 2. And when we started out today, this is one of the first charts we looked at, saying how this thing needed more time. And so we've been patiently waiting for this. We kind of flipped through a few different charts, coming back, keep circling back to this. And now we're almost there. Probably in the next 5 minutes here, we're going to trigger this off. There you go. Like that. If amplified hits and rolls, we go. I mean, how does that react like that? You know what I'm saying? I'd be looking at this here. Amplified just hit, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's 72.
Yeah. Let's let. Is it up at? Did it hit 33 yet? Yeah. All right. So again, our big number is 33. I like to get the patterns down to a single number. And if your main number in this situation is 33 on the crab, that's perfect. That's why we're waiting for it. Now we're just looking for a little flash of the indicator to trigger us in. Yeah, keep that away. You back that off. I did like the way they had it with the pi phi band, though. With the pi band, where that's actually a great idea of just parking that above the pi band, because you know you can prep your order and be ready to drop it in. There you go. Yeah, I like that. I really like that, where then at least you know that if this doesn't work, or if you get some kind of crazy market move, rarely is that going to exceed the 314 pi band.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I think everybody's jumping in. And so you got amplified at a 71 reading, which I like. And we're now 60 seconds away from jumping in. So go ahead and put that 33 order in. Let's drop that down in here.
Let's see. All right, gotta be real surgical right here.
Don't get your
30.
you're getting some slippery fingers there. Be careful. I don't want to be buying 24. I want to sell 33.
All
Let's
right.
drop it. That's it.
4.
All right. Go above there. All right, you're all piling in before our order, even though we're just sim trading here. I think everyone's seeing this.
You guys are moving the market, yeah. And now Amplified is still, we still haven't closed above 70, so we're at 67 at this point.
Oh, damn it.
So.
Yeah, just bring it up a little bit. HSI needs 5 more minutes because HSI just changed there. Hold on. We'll get it on this bar. And then we go. But you're going to have to be quick. We're going to have to pretty much enter on the open of the next 5-minute interval, which is in about 4 minutes, 30 seconds. And why did we delay? Because we didn't get our indicator to roll over. So we're looking, we know to look at this 33 area. It's the big crab number. We got a little bat pattern as well. But now we're just focused on our indicators. On the left side, right side, all sides. We're now clearly overbought. We hit our numbers. Now we got to roll. And that's all in the 5-minute window here of probably the next 3 minutes. That's why we do this. And this is a perfect Wyckoff entry. Wyckoff talked about this. You break the trend line and then it goes sideways, maybe a little divergence, but you kiss that underbelly of the trend line there on the 15-minute chart. This is, this is a really nice, this is in a really nice position. So I want to look at this in about 3 minutes, but keep it on the screen. We'll probably cover this trade, I think, exclusively at top of the hour when we do the session. But this is right there. I think all of the aspects of the type 1, type 2 on both time frames, super clear. And boy, if that thing doesn't trigger, it's going to trigger. It's just, Keegan, pull me up a time and sales screen, please. This is where time and sales is so effective. Pull up a time and sales screen, and we can look at the individual trades. Because we want to focus, that's, when we get to this point, and we've been dancing around here, but we knew this thing was coming back for a secondary test on the 5-minute, on the 15-minute, 30-minute. There you go. Oh, wait a minute. Before I lose everybody. Plug in. Good. All right. Still no trade. Still no trade. 2 minutes to trade time. Now we've got everything in that overbought.
Smokes.
Yeah.
Nervous.
Well, your stop, that's the 5-minute stop. Yeah, we're still no trade yet. This is fine. That's, again, notice, using that pi band. Okay, we know that this thing is, I really like that. It's just to be able to position that trade to prepare it. Also, I know you're not a fan of the reflector, Keegan. I love the reflectors. And I think that's something.
I think you've got me mischaracterized.
Why?
I'm not a fan of the reflector in spot markets, though. That's more of a reflector on the futures, of the depth of market in futures.
I still love the reflector.
Reflected. Nobody knows what that means. That's what is that? That's from a
Well,
different platform that calls it reflector. It's like most platforms call it the depth of market.
the depth of market or the dome or whatever, the reflector. We were calling it the reflector when it first came out as a reflector in 99, 2000, started trading E-minis online.
Nice.
All right, so look at your watch. Your 1 minute, your 10 seconds to the next 5-minute bar.
All
We're
right.
at our numbers.
Look at where we're at on RSI.
Yeah, RSI, everything's
Testing complex.
all right. It's a little overspill, but this is exactly what we want to see. This thing right here, HSI is still pointing up, and at least RSI is overbought, but HSI is not there yet. If HSI would turn over, we would see something. We could go on that. And I, look, we were looking for this retest the whole time, but I want to show you that one bar on the 5-minute that a lot of times that when it materializes like that, you're waiting. You're just waiting until we get a singular bar that links up with what we're looking at. We've got a bearish pattern here. We need a bearish individual bar. And we're still in play. You're hitting your 5-minute stop loss, but that's not our primary pattern. Primary is the deep crab.
Good point. There you go.
You're hitting everything right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's so now you got the type 2, and now you've got confirmation. And so 11:36 right now. Where's your time and sales screen? Let's look at that. All right, so notice how we were waiting for 33. When we got to 33, no confirmation. Now we're trading 41. Still a valid opportunity here, but it's above the zone. On a type 2, taking longer amount of time to work itself out, but this is still a valid opportunity. This is where we come back with the second hit. And it's possible, and actually in a lot of cases even favorable, to get a secondary test just above the initial reading, but we don't want to see it much above here. You're looking at hit the stop on just the 5-minute bat pattern, but all that is just retesting the prior high. Okay, we're waiting for this thing to roll over on a 5-minute basis. That's our final trigger. Everything else is there. Now, if this thing in the next 10 minutes exploded, if we get to 11:45 in about 7 minutes, if this thing explodes through these numbers, we'll step back and not take the trade. But we're just getting to that point now where we've got the price and the confirmation that we need for a sizable structure here on a 15-minute pattern. This stretches back to last week. So think of this as probably like your swing reaction. We were talking about this Thursday, Friday for a short-term bounce. And this is about the limit. This is what we were looking up to, I think we were looking up to about 22.30. Then we were buying at 21.55. But that was Friday. And now we're just looking for a short-term scalp. Looking for this pretty much, we're show them the, let's just look at the primary pattern on the 15-minute, because that's everything. So, and now RSI hit. Yeah, that was the final thing on the 15-minute we're looking for as well. So let's go in about 6 minutes, because now we've got, you want this thing to stay up. You want this bar to close up at here, give you the trigger, kiss RSI, and then roll. So this thing, this immediate bar, this 5-minute bar, this 15-minute bar, we should start to see this thing turn over. In the next 5 minutes, there you go. Oh, now did it really just bust in to show up butterfly? Yeah. Don't know why that happened.
Well, the bat's taken out, so it just moves to the next.
The bat's taken out, but I'm more focused on the 5-minute. Like, look, you go back and show the amplified from before. Go back. Scrunch that left chart up. We'll look at that in a second here. All right, look at amplified. Yeah, right there. So amplified, look how much it goes up. Until amplified rolls over, and we're probably about 4 minutes away into this, that if this is going to turn, it's going to turn right here. And that we're looking at this 15-minute bar as pretty much being the whole thing.
Right, yeah, it's 10:41. In 4 minutes, this 15-minute will close. It's looking like it's going to close with RSI over 70.
Yeah. And so we were looking at 33, but we didn't have confirmation until 41, 42, and we're literally, now you're at 48, okay? We didn't take that trade because we didn't have confirmation. And we knew at like 25, that thing had to come back for a retest. By the time it got to our minimum number, it blasts through it. No trade, no problem. I want everybody to get strict on their lining up executions, because you can avoid these. I mean, I still like the structure. I like the 1618 off the low. There's a lot of impulsive measurements here for this to still be a good sell for a short-term reaction at a minimum. And I'm not discounting that for 1 second. I'm just trying to walk it through and show everybody that we don't have to sit through drawdown. If you're just placing your order right in the PRZ and you don't have confirmation, you're going to sit through a lot of drawdown. You're going to sit through a lot of noise that can be avoided. Now, if you don't have the time to put into it, just extend out your time frame. Trade off a 4-hour chart. Trade off the daily charts. Reduce your size. Widen your spreads. Go for the larger swing moves. But the principle's the same. Also, you're hitting your pi band and really stalling out. Did you get a T on the butterfly?
Not quite.
No. Almost. But you're right there. Look, I'm more concerned about the 15-minute, and we're like 90 seconds away. But I would still say that this is about to trigger. On the 5-minute. HSI's got to roll over, though. And RSI is at 70 right now on a 15-minute. That's our primary.
Yeah, and we're getting a retest, a complex structure retest on the 5 and the 15 on the same bar.
That's good. I like that. All right, we got less than a minute to go, and this is it, because it's all on this bar. We need that to close. We need that 17. Sorry, that RSI on the 15-minute bar. That's going to close here in about, I don't know, 30 seconds, and it's going to give you a 71 reading. We're at 71.62. This is a perfect RSI band. Perfect divergence on the 15-minute. You got a higher high, and you got a lower reading on RSI. Now we're going to jump into the next bar. 3, 2, 1. Go. All right, I like it. All right, look at your 15-minute RSI now. That's not going to take much to roll over. 5-minute too. It's right up in here. Maybe as high as 2250, but not much higher than that. And I'm all right with that. Your standard stop loss is a 2.0. Huh, look at that move. I bet you that 5-minute butterfly is it. And that's 2251. Your big numbers are at 2239, 2235 is the top range of that zone. So right here, we're looking for this thing to stall. On the 15-minute basis, that's all I'm concerned about. And that's, you finally got your link up of confirmation. Again, type 2. 49, your butterfly is at 51. And even a little bit of a data change. It could be a slight difference in the data, but I'm going to bring this up. Where's your order?
I deleted it as when it started moving quickly.
Oh, I think I'm okay with that at 50, 53. With the larger zone, I'm okay with it right here.
Just putting it in at 50?
Yeah, up at yeah, up at 53. You're gonna get that 127. Right there. Oh, go down. Yeah, right there. If not, if this thing breaks down, starts to break down, we are in the PEZ. We're in a free, we're right here. We can go on a 1 bar.
Yeah, and here I've got the very top of this butterfly as, 2251.
Yeah. Look at your indicators on a 5-minute. Rolling over. Amplified's rolling down. You got a lot of fun this year. Yeah, I want you to get ready on the sell. And we're going to start the session in about 15 minutes, but let's sell this puppy. Let's sell British pound here. You got about, let me see here, you got about 60 seconds to the next 5-minute bar. If this thing breaks down, it's all over. You got the 5-minute with you. You got the 15. 15's just triggered out. So Our main numbers were 33, 35. That's on a big 15-minute pattern. We traded as high as 50, which is all right, because that's where we got our confirmation. So now we got 30 seconds or less, and we're going to move into this position. And I'm going to put this in the chat.
Incoming mail.
Here. One second. Oh, wrong one.
Yep, so we got a new bar here. RSI just popped out.
You're ready to go on that.
So I'm still at, 2253. Still at 53 right now.
But Amplify didn't jump out. HSI is almost down. And I like RSI. I'm liking this. And also look at your 15-minute is out.
Yeah, it hasn't closed yet. But, I mean, if it closes...
It's going to be serial reversal. It's going to be straight down. So Amplified, that's about to give you a complex reading. But I'm all right. I think even for, we can treat this as a 5-minute reaction up here against the 15-minute. Yeah, I want you to get ready to sell that. Mostly because the 5s and the 15s are good.
It's there. It's sitting there at 53.
Drop it in. Drop it in.
Drop it in right here.
Drop it in on that bar against the close. Against, yeah, right there. Let it, right there. Because the other ones I want to look at, I want to sell this on a 5. And I really want everybody to start looking at like Kiwi dollar.
So close.
What are you doing?
Just grab it?
No. Did you just grab it?
No, not yet.
All right, just hold on. Hold on. You'll get it. Yeah, RSI is definitely out.
Uh-huh, yeah. Closed out last bar.
And on your 5-minute, you're good to go. And so where are you selling?
Let's see. 2242.
Now, you're going to have to get that in.
So where do you want to sell it at?
Yeah, I want you to sell it right here, 40. Don't let this fall off.
Yeah.
This thing's going to dump. Just hold on, you'll get picked up. But no problem. Called it, you were on top of it. every which way. Where is it now? Back at 33?
36 right now.
All right. Be right back. I'll take this.
Okay.
Hello? This is. Good, yourself? What's the latest you got, right? What's the latest? Okay, then it's
Here we go. Let's see if it tags it right here. Tags 39. There we go. Oh, nice. That's exactly how you want it to go after you get filled. Alright, so like 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes till the next 15-minute and 5-minute bar. Nice.
Did you get in?
I'm in.
All right. Nice read. Nice job. I had to take that. That was the doctor. But that's what we do here, folks. So we're going to start about a minute and log in. Hey, Dennis. I'll take some questions. Keegan, I want you to, I don't know, is it too much of a drain to fire? I'll keep recording this. I'll send it to you. You can chop it up later. But really nice one. Dennis, hey Dennis, I need to catch up with you, I know. Do any new indicators keep track of the progressive reading changes within each bar? The rate of those changes could help determine a true from a fluctuating rollover. Just a thought. Yeah, I agree with you on that. That's why I think what you're referring to is HSI. That's why we like to link up RSI with it. And we get situations like we got here. Really great read, Keegan. Nice job.
Thanks.
That, you know, right here, where did you get in? 39?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I mean, 40, 39, 40. I mean, we're still 7, 8 pips. Yeah, we're using the same TP of. No, we're utilizing the bigger crab in terms of we're trying to play this longer 15-minute secondary test on British pound, but now on a 5-minute basis, we have a perfect RSI BAM, bearish RSI BAM with a pattern at the D point. If you look just at RSI, you can see that we got the full-on divergence right here. So that puts us right in a really good spot where we've been talking about this chart for a while. And if we started out the session where we looked at it, we looked at the initial reaction, and then we waited. We had to wait for over an hour till we hit this spot right where we are. Now we've got 15-minute primary time frame confirmation, broke it down on a 5-minute, and just entered on this 5-minute trigger within the zone. So the best way to look at this, though, is treat this as a reaction off on the secondary test there. Yeah, let's use that. And look at that one there. And we'll follow up. Let me walk through this. Keegan, can you fire? I know, we'll do that later. Let me bring this out and walk it through. So let me start here officially, and this will be just today's session. So let's start here, 12:02. All right. Okay. Today is March 13th, our Monday Formation Seeker trading session. We're now opening up the room about a little before 9 o'clock, starting to look at some pre-market trades and line up some opportunities. And that's what we're looking at right here. We're looking at the bearish crab, deep crab that is, on the right side. Now, we walked through when we came in this morning and we outlined why that was a type 1 reaction. And let's blow up that potential reversal zone on the right side and just look at the type 1, type 2 reaction. And just draw your trend line, draw off the first D point. Yeah, take that line. Yeah. So we drew it off of there, and that's really where we came in on this, saying, it was a little bit after that, but saying if you're in that type 1 trade, and you're in that position right there, okay, when it's the first time a pattern's completed, that's pretty much your only decision variable. And that's, I talked a lot about that this morning, of decision variables, where you get to each step in the process and we're waiting for the market to give us the signs that confirm what the price structure tells us. So in this instance, once that trend line was violated, and especially because it hit the 382 target, put your mouse on the 382 target, please. Yeah, but where it hits it. I mean, it hit it exactly. All right? That's a type 1 trade. No doubt about it, to get you from terminal bar to target 1. That's the type 1 trade. That's the minimum harmonic reaction, profitable reaction off of a zone. Then the thing came right back on the 15-minute chart, and that's where we came in this morning. And we recognized where RSI was. RSI was on its way to retest the 70 level, but we weren't there yet. And so we sat through this trade a good 75, 90 minutes, hour and a half or more, waiting for that final retest. So we got that, and on the left side of the chart, we got some 5-minute phenomenon, some 5-minute confirmation. But the 15-minute was the big one, because we were waiting for that RSI. We completed the RSI BAM divergence, really important on the secondary test. Those are just remarkable opportunities. So this is going to take some time to work itself out, especially because it's a secondary test. It's a 15-minute chart, all right, and it's going to take its time to work itself out. But all of the factors are there that we just want to monitor this, pretty much monitor the indicator on the 15-minute and monitor price action on the 5. Because what we're trying to do now, we entered the position at around 40, 39 and change, 40. Our prime numbers were at 35. The market traded as high as 50, up to 122.50. So if your PRZ, in this case, was basically between 122.18 and 122.30, 33, sorry, the terminal bar on the first test was at 39. All right, that's the blue line on the right side of the chart. All right, that tells you that the permissible execution zone is as high as basically 40. So what that means is that blue line establishes the real world trading action. And it establishes how far the market can move beyond the harmonic model and still be a valid signal. And that's what the blue line does for us. Notice on the retest, okay, we hit the bar, we get the confirmation, and immediately that thing gives us a bearish reversal, almost bearish engulfing. This is, I'll tell you what, if this thing drops off, this thing's going to collapse. If this 15-minute bar fails these past two bars, this is going to be a drop. It's got to happen right here, right now, but at a minimum, you're utilizing the longer zone for a higher probability short-term trade. And we can just play it down, looking at each individual bar on the primary time frame, the 15-minute, yep. And then we look on the right. In the resource section, there's some videos that you guys can watch of why we need 30 bars, but you need a minimum of 30 bars. In this case, we now just, the terminal bar is in. All right, the terminal bar, the type 2 terminal bar that is in, and it's in with confirmation. So this is where then you want to put your eyeballs simply on the indicators and the 5-minute price action. So the primary indicator, once we enter the trade, all right, let's focus on what RSI is doing. And RSI will give us kind of the early sign, early progress. Then we look on the left side of the chart. That's our shorter term time frame. Okay, we can manage and get the early insights of to how aggressive this breakdown is going to be with these indicators. And we look at HSI out of the zone, RSI out on a 5-minute, amplified, which is really responsive, okay? And a lot of times that's the trigger. That's all of those pointing down on a 5-minute basis. That's all very bodes quite well for the early stages of this reversal. So we entered the trade, and we've got a little cushion here of about 8 pips, but this thing needs some time. And that's one of the issues of what we're trying to do within this time span of trading, is to give you guys some real examples, some real opportunities, and we've talked about some of them already of what to look at this week. And if you just click on, show them the chat room on the right side. So you go in there, click on Scott Carney Live Trading. That's where I'm going to put charts and the information that you can go back. And we were looking at the deep crab and the NASDAQ. We're looking at Kiwi dollar on a 4-hour and a daily. We're looking at Aussie CAD. So you can go through those and take a look at the various trades I'm lining up on the week. And a lot of these can take 1-2 shots. Aussie CAD rolled over a little bit early, but still keep an eye on that. And our NASDAQ is going to run, and it's going to reach for that deep crab up at 94. So, but our trade of the day here is the British pound versus the dollar. And everything I've got here is of stacking all of the ideal conditions. We want to see where we can be as precise as possible. And it's, I know that everyone's got their different takes on when to enter, where to enter, different methodologies. For me, the things that have always worked are measuring, being precise as possible, being as clear as possible. And when that clarity evades me, I get out. I'll close it out without any hesitation. And that is something where when we line up the measurements, we walk through confirmation like we've done here. And if you want to review kind of the timeline of walking through this trade, please watch the review. I'll get the webinars up too, by the way. Thanks. Someone brought that to my attention that the webinars were not posted yet. I'll figure out what that is, or give you guys an alternative address to view the webinars is probably the answer. But I really, the goal here of our trading room is to give everybody the insights, the in-between of you've got, how to take the patterns and really establish bias, direction, so we have a clear idea, and also true make or break levels where whatever we're analyzing or lining up, if it's going to be of significance, we should be able to categorize it, should be able to nail it down to a pretty tight range with the proper expectations as it develops. In this case, the number said sell 35 as high as maybe 40. This thing went up to 50 on the secondary test, and that's still all right. So I want to take, let's keep that one up on the side. And I want to look at, let's go over to crude oil first and then go to the cable. So let's go, one second here. Let me switch this up. Let me change. Go, just pull up crude oil, please. WTI on Formation Seeker.
Oh yeah, and we've got our stop at what, like 22.55 here on the pound.
Yeah, that's fine. It's going to take a little bit of time to work out that 15 and 5 minute zone, but as soon as we take out that target. All right, we kind of got, we were talking about the other thing on the oil. Go to a 5 minute on oil because we were we got sidetracked on the pound, but we were talking about this at 48.50.
Okay.
Just hit one of the, try to reduce all of these excess.
Yeah. Let's see what's this we're looking at.
Maybe that was on a 15 minute. Yeah, there you go.
15.
Yeah, and that's, actually that's the perfect ABCD RSI BAM cell.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Yeah, and I'm more focused on this pound trade because it fits within the ideal parameters. But some of the, what I really want to do later this week and start to kind of release to everybody is more of these advanced areas. When we understand that a pattern has to be retested or a certain harmonic scenario needs a retest, those can be extremely accurate, aggressive, accelerated moves that are even more reliable than patterns at times. They require the insight and understanding of all patterns, but it's more about just being able to execute your entry, stop loss management at predetermined targets, because when you try to play these type of advanced harmonic situations, like we have in oil, and we were looking at this on a 5 minute, and we were looking at the longer term saying, look, this has got to come back to about $48, maybe even all the way back at the low to retest the recent support. And there was a great sell opportunity there. I think we'll come back to that maybe in the next session. We'll do another session here of looking at some of that other, looking at how to play these accelerated moves. But I prefer to kind of stick with the patterns and the zones like we have in this British pound trade here and walk you through just that standard model of pattern execution, pattern completion, terminal bar, go to target 1, go to target 2, next opportunity and instill that pattern set to kind of reinforce just the general pattern concepts of walking through the process. But that's definitely, I think, one. We were looking at that right with a HSI test that was overbought, and it was when we first came in this morning. I think it was on a 5-minute. Yeah, right around 48. But I like this British pound trade here on the left, and we're looking at, interestingly enough, we're looking at this butterfly on a 5-minute. That's on the left side. It didn't hit the butterfly completely on the 5-minute, but we were focused more on the 15-minute. And it's not an easy entry. I'll say that right now, because you've got something so close on a 5-minute basis that we could come back and retest that. But everything else on the 15-minute lined up quite well. So, and was already confirmed for us. So now we're just waiting to see if this reaction is going to become a larger reversal. But profit targets, everything, we probably could move this down here. It's pretty soon. Once we get the breakdown through the first profit target, if this is going to be a larger move, it's going to go right through. And if it doesn't, we'll adjust the stop and protect the position. But this is, almost at a point we're at a risk-free trade opportunity. This is the point where we got to do the work. This in between, when we go from understanding our price measures, the key way that we want to focus on getting out of the zone and getting to the profit target is focusing on your indicator progress. On a shorter term time frame, or even the longer term time frame, you pull up the 15-minute. You go to the 15-minute on Formation Seeker for British pound. Other way, yeah, okay. Now let's look at the indicator. Just showing the PRZ, let's look at the 15-minute indicator. Yeah, other way, there you go. All right, look at how that indicator is breaking down. Draw a trend line off of the impulse test. Just straight down off of that. Just give me, 60, 45. Okay, there. Yeah, give me a little bit, even a little more favorable. Yeah. Give it a little more time. Even a 45 degree. Okay. That's your expectation right there, folks. You're focused on the indicator progress. Why? Because that's going to give you the early signal. You look on the left side of the screen, you see the indicators lagging, even on the 5-minute basis. All right, here's the trick. This is perfect for what we want to see. We want to see indicators that look pretty ugly, that are dipping down, because they're going to get expressed before the price is reflected, before the price really exhibits what the pattern's telling us. Now we're getting a really nice breakdown here. And we play this down. We look at our indicators, even HSI on the 5-minute. HSI is what I like to call a serial indicator. We've designed it so that it goes from one extreme to the next. That is extremely helpful, because when we link that up with a PRZ, all right, we can gauge the reaction out of the zone. That's why harmonic strength index is the official and best harmonic pattern indicator, and only harmonic pattern indicator, because the way we've designed it and created it is to give the expression of how far that initial reaction out of the zone can go. And if we can get a really nice price move with one extreme from HSI going from overbought to oversold, that's going to tell us how much further the larger reversal can, what's the possibility for that. And we look at the right side of the chart and we look at the RSI, that's breaking down on the 15-minute in an ideal fashion. And so we got about 5 more minutes and we'll wrap up here. And we'll come up, I'll probably do a follow-up video on this, because I think the only problem with trying to do the live sessions is to get from start to finish all in one session. That would be great if we could do that. And we could do that on 5-minute or 1-minute patterns, and we find ourselves scalping left and right. But that's not the discipline, that's not the framework I'm really trying to instill with the structures. I want people to be able to see the entire chart. And what the main kind of breakthrough I see most students get is that if they can get themselves to understand the pattern measurements with the proper expectations, then they just need to manage it. And it's really just one of 2 or 3 management parameters of the trend line, of the profit target, that you just need to ride it. Surf the trend line down. Surf it to one of your targets. Here on the 5-minute basis, that butterfly did not fully complete, but we're at the 382 target. I'll look at that. I'll consider that. But I'm really focused on the right side of the chart. And that's the larger primary pattern that we're trading from. There's a lot of things there on the right side of the chart that are telling us that this has got a potential for a much bigger move, including divergence, RSI band divergence. We got the secondary test of the crab. I mean, there's a lot going on here. So these are the situations that we really want to get into. And I think, in our discussion today, we want to start tracking these so that if we're in a position here on a 15-minute chart, our ideal objectives is the target 1 down at 121.95. So that puts us, we're targeting now somewhere around 45, 50 pips for this trade. And we stay with the trade because it's type 2 and it's going to take a longer time. But with this kind of a setup, all the way down at 121.70. So now you're talking ballpark 70 pips is what we're really shooting for here. And we're getting the ideal breakdown. I mean, everything is really nice. And I'll stay on for a couple extra minutes because I want to walk through this trade as it's happening. We also want to look at again, focus on indicator progress. You pull the trigger. The only thing you need to focus on is what's the indicator giving you, what kind of early signs? Is your approximate short-term time frame? Is that agreeing with your initial reaction? Everything says yes. So now my only consideration is, am I going to make 40 pips? Or am I going to make 70 pips? Or am I going to make 2 pips? Why do I say 2 pips? Because we are about ready to move our stop management. We don't need to keep the stop open at a loss. Now, this is going to take a little bit more time. I would prefer to wait maybe 2 or 3 more 15-minute bars, another 45 minutes. But we can be dynamic in our stop-loss adjustment as this progresses down. And right now, we're trying to get out of the 15-minute zone. But just for our sakes, you're up 10 pips for 13 pips, right, Keegan?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to just end up the session here. It's 12:30. Everybody, you can meet us in here. We're doing Formation Seeker sessions at 9. We're going to pull live trades like this, and we're going to do a lot. We're going to line up several items for the week. So if you're looking for opportunities for the week, you join us on Mondays. You look at the Scott Carney channel, where I'm posting charts that we're talking about. We got Keegan McClellan with us, who is collaborator, genius behind Harmonic Strength Index. We spent a long time on that indicator. We flushed this thing out for over 2 years before we really decided to put it out there. And now we've got it. And we've got it because it gives us the insights at the pattern completion points, unlike any other indicator. And then when we link it up with RSI and time frames, we're able to pinpoint trades like this. So, Keegan, just for our sake, we're going to move that stop down. And
All right, what do you want back?
Just go to break even. I mean, I would give this more time, but I just go to break even. Break even plus 1. I don't care. I would prefer to give this more time, but just in terms to wrap up today's session, we're at a break even. We're at a risk-free trade no matter what. This is another concept that I've developed, and I think it helps tremendously for the psychological perspective. So that once you get some cushion between you and the pattern, if this is going to work out, you're getting it, you're capturing it at a terminal point. Therefore, you can ride those indicators down. But keep an eye on that. Listen, I'm going to get the recording today posted. But it was a great session, Keegan. Thanks so much. We'll see everybody on Thursday morning. I'll be back in here. And you guys keep doing great work. Keep posting your charts. No, we're already in. Oliver, we're already in British Pound. We already sold it. I don't know if you missed that, but we were selling that up at 40. And I'm just putting in the stop now to protect it. No matter what, if I'm a swing trader, I would give this more time. But I want to leave these sessions, no worries. We walked through this, and I'll get the recording up because this was a great example in real time of a real trade of how we walk through harmonic patterns with an advanced degree of skill, so that you know where to hit it. We're not blindly executing, and we know how to handle these situations. So we'll review this Thursday. But thanks again, everybody. And we'll see you then. Keegan, thanks so much. And we'll catch you later this week. Take care.
All right. See you guys.